And that's why I think housing is just one example of how we've got to do what works. We've got to start talking together. We've got to start working together. Not just saying it, but doing it. And taking the best ideas from both parties. And if we do that, if we do what we did in the Clinton administration, we're going to get this economy going again. And we're going to get all of you busier than you've been for 3 or 4 years.
Look, we're not living in the 90s, and I enjoyed the 90s too in many respects, but we're not living in the 90s anymore. We're living in 2012. You all know what you're facing, what people here in the Hudson Valley are facing. I talk with men and women in small business all the time. I have the privilege of not just talking about these things, but doing them. And doing them with members of Democratic counterparts in the House all the time. In fact, one example again, Hurricane Irene Coalition, I'm a co-chair of it. That's Democrats and Republicans working together, and we have brought back millions of dollars to the Northeast and to New York State. 90 million in particular for infrastructure in New York State to put our roads and bridges back in order after Irene and Lee. And in fact, that does provide a lot of work for our local trades, which I'm happy to do. But in terms of the economy that we face now in 2012, you all know what high taxes are doing to people here in our communities, and you can add them up. Property taxes, sales taxes, income taxes, local income taxes, state income taxes, federal income taxes. People cannot afford to live here anymore. They are moving. They are going to continue to move out of New York until we find a way to give them some relief. It's common sense. It's just a matter of the dollars and cents. President Obama said it at the end of 2010. He said, we should not be raising taxes on anyone in this economy. And the economy is not better than it was. I wish it were, but it's not. So the smartest thing we can do is provide relief, provide the kind of assurance that no one is going to be hit with a greater burden than they're already bearing in a down economy, where we're competing with a world that is eager to take the business right out of the United States, and they are doing it at a rapid pace. We have got to have regulations that make sense, that protect consumers, that respect our businesses, that let you do your job. We have to have a sensible health policy for this country. The 2010 law unfortunately shifts massive amounts of funding out of Medicare. That will end Medicare, as our seniors know it, faster than anything else. Those monies have to go back into Medicare. So whatever Mr. Maloney says about Medicare, I'm working to save and protect Medicare. I have parents who are 88 and 91. They're relying on their Medicare. I'm a doctor. I know how my seniors depended on Medicare. I have lived here in this Hudson Valley with you in our community for 24 years. I have my roots here. I have invested here. I care about what happens here. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my husband. My husband is the CEO of the Mount Kisco Medical Group. And in fact, the medical group has a no layoffs policy. No matter how bad the economy gets here, they never lay anybody off. That's caring. And that's because he understands with his partners and his colleagues what we need to do right here at home. And they invest their dollars accordingly, and they've grown that medical group. I want you to be able to do that. I don't want the federal government to see you as its piggy bank for experiments that won't work. I wanted to see you as the place where we will grow. That's the whole idea. You are what grows this economy. I want you to have the seed money and the resources you need. It's not about government working against you. It's about government providing the partnership that you need without smothering you, without overwhelming you. And that's the point we're at now. And we cannot afford to raise taxes on you. We cannot afford to have regulations that don't make sense. I am working every day to provide that relief to you and to the people you care about and the people who need jobs right here in the Hudson Valley. And I will continue to do that with your help, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have just one more question, and then we will let both candidates have a last word, kind of sum up.